So Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred, the new DLC just launched a little bit, I guess not quite 2 days, but about 2 days ago now. I've been playing it whenever I've gotten the chance. Pretty far into it, I'd say. I mean, I've completed the campaign, I've gotten into, a little bit of the end game, and I think I'm in like Torment 2 or 3 right now. Just kind of like playing around with the build. um, which was kind of my plan going into this expansion. I was just going to be like, whenever I start the game, I'm just going to kind of like go with whatever I was vibing with. And, I was like, am I going to do the Warlock? And then I looked at it and I was like, it actually looks really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that. Gonna go based off of, the order of things in which I experienced them in. So, firstly, the campaign. The campaign, in my opinion, was actually very good. I haven't really seen the response on it too much. I've seen a couple of people talk about it, or just like little comments here and there. And everything that I've seen, people have been saying that they really like the campaign. I'm also in that camp. I thought the campaign was fun. The pacing was nice. It felt impactful. Like, the stuff happening was actually like, it felt like worth doing, like to see like what was going to happen, and obviously like it was this build up to, like a thing that we all thought was going to happen. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'll just say that I really liked the campaign. I liked it better than the previous DLC campaign, and I'd say that the game launched with a pretty decent campaign. I actually liked it, but I also really enjoyed this one. I would put it either on par with the one that I experienced at launch, or maybe it might even edge it out a little bit. But enjoyable campaign. Specifically, I actually really like. I don't know how people feel about this, but I actually really like Lilith. I kind of liked the development of her character throughout this campaign, and that was really cool. So, don't know what they're going to do next, but happy to see what they do. And obviously, like the cinematics and like all of that stuff, like that's like Blizzard's thing. Like they always nail that, and they nailed it again. So, all right, moving on. So, the Warlock, new class, launched 2 days ago. The Warlock feels really awesome. Honestly, I've been doing like a Hellfire build. I've seen people doing, I don't know what builds they've been doing, but I've seen them use a lot of this mobility skill. I think it's the Nether Step. And I played around with it a little bit, which it feels really nice, but I kind of just like got really sucked into this Hellfire theme and decided that I was going to have my mobility be baked into this summon skill here. It just kind of feels cool to just be fully in on like one specific class archetype. I don't like. Sometimes I like mixing between the elements and stuff, but it's feeling pretty cool to just kind of like fully go in on the Hellfire element, and it's doing really well. I mean, it doesn't feel like extremely overpowerful. I think I'm still missing some gear from it, but the gear is coming together, and that'll kind of like lead into the next thing that the next impression that I've had about the game, which is the gearing has felt slower, but it feels more impactful. Like, there's not just everything is dropping and like you're just like ignoring 90% of it. Like, I'm finding myself picking up a lot of things, which, is making me think like, okay, now it's time for me to probably set up a loot filter because I'm picking up so many things, and I'm still kind of in the early stage of the progression. I've gotten like 850 base on everything, but there's obviously some like shit affixes on some of these gear items that aren't needed. So I need to look for things that are better suited. I'm looking for weapons and stuff with double damage multipliers. So a nice like chase. It's been a nice gearing process. The talisman system, this kind of is working in tangent with the gearing stuff. This feels a lot cooler than I've expected it to feel. I kind of figured it was kind of like going to be like a powers type of system where you just kind of like okay, like here's free power. And obviously there's an aspect of that to it. It's well, it's like the Diablo 2 charm system. In the early stages of progression, you find a charm, like in Diablo 2, you find a charm on the ground, and maybe it gives you a resistance or some extra damage, and you just throw that in your inventory, and it's just like filler. And it kind of works like that for me in the early stages of the game, where you're just kind of like getting stuff like, let's see here, just getting like lightning resistance. Maybe you're going up against a lightning, boss or something. All stats. Maybe you need more stuff. I don't know. You just kind of find stuff, and you're just like, okay, well, like I just need a little bit more of this stat. You just kind of like throw it in, and it is kind of like working like that charm system in Diablo 2, where you're just like filling in like stuff that you're missing, which is fine. That's totally okay that they have that system. It works really well in Diablo 2, and I think it's working well so far. And in this game, I need to transition this a little bit. My camera. I need to figure out how to adjust this setting on my camera. Let's see. That's not what I want to do. All right. All right, here we go. So my camera like autofocuses, and I have my lizard in the corner, and he has a lamp, and it's just like really bright, but it's also like light outside. So I'm like trying to figure out which light source isn't going to be super like it is what it is. Just block out the side of the screen if it's bothering you. I'll figure some stuff out later. I'm still in the early stage of this. Anyways, back to the charms. The system works really well in Diablo 2. It works as like a filler system for like stat and gear options. But the it kind of feels like it's working like that, and at least in the early stages of like your itemization, you just kind of have like you're missing a stat here and there, like you get some more health, get some more resistances, and you kind of just throw it in. But they have some really like interesting things here. So like this charm here interacts with some of the set charms that I found, like practice technique. So I have the 3 set bonus. I found the 3 runes. I get more attack speed, movement speed, and I get some gold find and experience, which in early stages works better because you kind of get like nerfed at level 70, or that this buff gets nerfed at level 70. Still welcome. Increased experience is like a hard stat to come by in any ARPG, and I'm still leveling up, so I'll probably use this for a long time until I find something. But you kind of start in the later game, like they said, like all these things are just like stat buffs. They said that the early set charms are just going to be stat buffs and class agnostic. But I found a couple of these things, like this demon form, set charm that is adding some interesting interaction here. And I'm like, okay, like this is a layering of, class progression and why I'm losing my words right now. It's just a layer of class power, and it's interesting class power. It's not just like you deal 1,000% more damage on this given time when you do this. It's like transformative, like interesting things to like problem solve. It's like you're in demon form, and you have to figure out like your buffing stages and stuff. So it's like an interesting way of adding some not only flavor but power to your build and playstyle. So the charm system, talisman system, that seems really cool. I obviously have barely scratched the surface. I'm still like using just basic stuff here. I found some like core skill and hellfire skill, and I've been using the flaming head thing a lot, so that's a core and hellfire, so it gets a pretty big buff. So all of that has felt cool. Really liking this system. I think this works really well so far. And let's see. Obviously, the other big ticket item here is the war plans. War plans, to me, at first, I was kind of hyped up about war plans last week whenever I was talking about this. I was like, I do feel like this is going to add a lot of, variance to the end game, a lot of just breaking up the monotony. And it has done that. I will say this, though, at first. My only critique, and it's not even a critique, it's just like a feeling that I had. When I was playing through the war plans at first, I kept getting activities I didn't like. And, like, I don't like Kuros Undercity very much. And I'm going to segue into why that's changed a little bit here in a second. But I was getting activities I didn't like. And I find myself, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to speed through this so I can get to the next fun thing that I want. This could be a lack of understanding. I haven't played fully, I haven't like played all of this through yet. I haven't upgraded everything. I haven't fully delved into it, but I do feel like the first part of it, I was just like, oh, like I really don't want to run this. Like whenever I was playing Diablo 4 before this expansion, I would never play Kuros unless I absolutely had to. And then I'm getting like, now I'm being forced to play it, which kind of felt bad at first. Not really bad, but it was kind of just like something I wasn't really engaging with. Now, to segue into how I feel about it now is, well, shit, I clicked on every single thing that it is not. Does Kuros has a skill tree? Oh, it's called the Undercity. I'm just like clicking over it. Okay, so the Undercity, the skill or the activity trees. This kind of made me like it a little bit more. Like this has added a little bit of flavor to Kuros Undercity now, to where I'm like, oh, like this is actually a little bit more fun to play. Now, it's not anything like extremely transformative, at least not the things that I've done to it yet. There are some other options here that are probably more transformative. But this option here, invasion portals, now appear in the Undercity. The enemies that emerge grant attunement when slain. I picked that because I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm just running through these things, and I'm not even getting max attunement because, like, I just want to get through this as quickly as possible. And I was still feeling that way, and those portals started emerging, and, you know, just the little things started clicking in my brain, and I'm like, oh, like, okay, like, this is different. This is not the same Kuros city that I was playing before. And it kind of just, like, got me a little excited. I'm like, okay, well, what are some of the other options I have? You know, and you can kind of like buff up these in invasion portals, and, you know, you can get like a combination of things, like make the invasion portals really, you know, more rewarding, or, you know, you can make the dungeon easier, I guess, by like giving yourself more time, or like this is like a last gasp. It says last gasp, so if you're like in like that 5-second mark and you kill a time, the time enemy within, if you're like 5 seconds or below, you're about to like lose the run, you know, you'll kill a monster that gives typically 30 seconds onto your time, and this doubles it to 60 seconds. So this can like save your entire run. So there's some options here, and it feels like early on kind of like kind of choosing like how you want to do this. So like maybe your build is struggling a little bit to get through to the end, you can choose one of these options to like help you push through and get to like that next level of attunement, or stay in it a little bit longer. So that's just one thing. The trees are offering more than that, obviously. And, you know, I've only played a little bit of it. I haven't leveled all of them up, obviously. Like, I haven't even done a layer boss yet. And even though I have keys for it, I'm curious. I don't know if it's just going to pop up on my activity board, or if I have to go out and do them first. So I'm kind of just waiting for that to happen. But, you know, a lot of things there. Let me see the other thing. Oh yeah, Haraja Cube. So I've had a ton of fun with this, actually. I haven't even gotten into like any of the like super. I haven't gotten into the high crafts or anything where, you know, you need a higher level of material, but like I've just been having fun with the adding affix option on here. Like these options here, like this is actually a pretty decent amulet that I found here. It's a decent base for what I'm looking for. It has some life, fire damage multiplier, 6 cooldown reduction, and here I kind of just have like a 7 life, 7 fire damage multiplier, resistance, resource cost reduction. Like this base amulet is pretty much like already better than this amulet. It just doesn't have like the life regen or resistances, which I do like. But you know, I'll just do a little showcase here. So you can go here, you can go to add affix, and then you hit the transmute, and then this binds it, so I can't trade this. But I get an option. Maybe I get a good affix here. Let's see here. What am I hoping for? Honestly, damage multiplier. I'll take a stat. I'll take armor. I'll take anything, really. Honestly, like, it's almost anything can be better than what I have right now. Or this is literally already better, so anything I get here is an upgrade, but maybe I get something cool. So let's go ahead and transmute it, see what happens. We got life regen. I like life regen, so cool upgrading mechanic. I actually have had a lot of fun with this. This is literally an upgrade for me. I didn't have to farm for a legendary aspect or, pick up 15 different legendary items and sift through all of them. Like, I found a good base item and I've crafted on it, and then I'm gonna temper hellfire damage or something. I don't think much has changed with tempering. I think the way you interact with it is a little bit different now, just because of like all the items and the loot drops and stuff being a little bit more restrictive, which, like I said, I'm going to reiterate, I actually like that. I think that's a good system. I'm probably missing some things, but overall, I have thoroughly enjoyed the game so far. I really, really like it. I like all the changes they've made. The game, the war plans, while I was kind of like a little bit in between on it when I was first playing it. I actually kind of like breaking up the monotony a little bit, which I think that kind of play style does cater to certain people. I'm one of those people. I like to mix things up. I like to see different things. So I've enjoyed that aspect of it. And I assume that probably once I flesh out my build, I'll find that I'm doing certain types of content with my build better. So maybe I'll spec into like a specific tree layout or a specific war plan layout. But yeah, honestly, like, I've just really enjoyed it. I've really liked the game so far. I think they've made some great changes, and I'm going to continue playing. I'm going to continue making content. I think I want to try to make the build that I'm going for kind of like, people are probably already doing this build and they're probably already doing it better than me. But I think what I'm going to go for is make a weird build that, or at least the build that I ended up coming up with. I'll make a build guide for it, see how far it can push, and then, we'll go from there. So follow-up updates or videos are probably just going to be me posting about the game or what I'm doing in the game, like gameplay stuff. So, all right, well, that's it for me. I'd like to hear everybody's thoughts about it. If you like this kind of content, feel free to like and subscribe. Obviously don't. If you can't be bothered with it, that's totally okay. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a great week. I hope everybody's enjoying the expansion so far, and I'll see you guys next time.